Why would we celebrate 39 years of service of a USS sailing ship aircraft carrier? The Independence was commissioned in 1959, and she was decommissioned in 1998. What is it that makes her special? How is it that she will be remembered? Possibly because she was sponsored by the then Secretary of the Navy's wife. Possibly by her contributions to the Gulf War, in that she was the first aircraft carrier into the Arabian Gulf. And therefore, with her began the beginning of Operation Desert Shield. Will she be remembered because she was the first carrier on which Marines sea qualified and were able to deploy with the fleet? Will she be remembered because she is the first carrier on which a female aviator sea qualified and joined the fleet? Will she be remembered because of the presidential address in 1973 by President Nixon on board her deck for Armed Forces Day? Fast forwarding, maybe it will be because she was the first forward deployed aircraft carrier stationed out of Japan, becoming freedom's flagship, the tip of the spear. Possibly because she was the first aircraft carrier in 36 years to visit Guam, or the first aircraft carrier ever to visit the country of Malaysia. Possibly because she was the last carrier to make a port call in Hong Kong prior to Japan, or rather China, reclaiming that city for their own. But for me, celebrating the years on the fleet for the Independence is a personal thing. The Independence was my first ship. On her decks, I walked the dance with death on the aircraft carrier flight deck for the first time. On her deck, I was a plane captain launching aircraft. On her deck, I was a troubleshooter, sending them to the catapults and off the pointy end into harm's way to fight the good fight. On her deck and along her passageways, I experienced the esprit de corps that is unique to the forward deployed presence of the United States Navy. So for me, it was with a sad heart that I learned that she would not become a museum like so many of her distinguished predecessors, but rather she would just be retired to the mothball fleet and later scrapped. And yet, her memory will live on in the hearts of all those who have had the pleasure and privilege of serving with her.